never personified things too much. Zelensky will come and go. He will not be president of Ukraine, I think, soon. But Ukrainian people will still be there.
Now, a delegation of senior Ukrainian officials has begun talks in Florida with the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other senior US officials about a proposed peace plan to end the war in Ukraine. A few moments ago, Rubio said the talks will be a path to leave the country sovereign, independent and prosperous, while Ukraine's security chief Rustem Umerov said the delegation was working to secure real peace for Ukraine. Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner are also present at the talks, which are taking place at a private club near Miami. The two sides are continuing the process of fleshing out a joint version of Trump's peace plan, which was criticised in Europe for heavily favouring the Russian side. Well, Oleksiy Goncharenko is a Ukrainian MP for Odessa, representing the European Solidarity Party, and joins me now. Hello, Oleksiy.
Hello.
Really good to have you with us. Are you hopeful of much progress in these talks taking place in the US today?
I have hopes because we need peace as soon as possible in Ukraine, and that's why I want to hope. And if United States will put a real pressure on Putin, then we have a real chance for peace.
But we've seen, haven't we, I mean, this original 28-point peace plan, which was seen as amounting to an abject surrender by Ukraine. It would have had to give up even parts of its territory that are not occupied. It would have had to accept limits to the size of its armed forces, getting rid of some of its most powerful weapons, accepting no future membership of NATO, even having the Russian language as the official language. I mean, what's your understanding of how much this peace plan has shifted since then, since the intervention of the Ukrainians and European allies?
I don't know. We are looking forward. Definitely there were some points in this plan which were unacceptable for Ukraine. And the most important is, like you rightly said, is about that Ukraine, Russia just want to take by negotiations what they failed to take by force, part of Donbas area. But in general, I want to tell you, it's not so disastrous plan. It's not surrender at all. Russia tried to wipe off Ukraine from the map of the world. They failed. And this plan recognizes that Ukraine is a sovereign state which will become member of European Union. Speaking about NATO, we need to be frank. It's not about Russia. It's about United States and other countries which are not ready to take Ukraine to the NATO. So it's not so important here. Speaking about size of forces, if it were said there are 600,000 or 800,000 people in army, but United Kingdom has less than 100,000 people, I think, in army. And Ukrainian army before invasion was 250,000. So it's not small numbers. It's big numbers. It's a super big army, 600 or 800,000 people, which will be one of the biggest in the world.
What about this question of territory, Oleksiy? Because do you think that the time has come when Ukraine has to accept the loss of at least some of its territory, some of those parts of Ukraine which are currently occupied by Russian forces?
What does it mean to accept? We need to accept the fact that they are de facto controlled by Russia. We will never accept that it is Russian. It is Ukrainian territories which are temporarily occupied by Russia. And in this status, they can be for years. That's true. But the day will come and the Russian Empire will fall apart like it happened 100 years ago, then 30 years ago, and we will take back all our territories.
While we are at this crucial point in the talks, President Zelensky has been hit by this scandal over corruption. One of his closest and most high-profile aides, Andrei Yermak, has had to quit his job. How much do you think President Zelensky himself has been weakened there in Ukraine by all of this?
He is weakened. Many people are angry about him and his close entourage to be involved in corruption. But it's different things. In general, I mean, when we're speaking about negotiations, when we're speaking about that we will not leave controlled territories, then when we are speaking about that Ukraine needs to receive guarantees, real guarantees, not like Budapest Memorandum, which in several days will be exactly 31 anniversary of Budapest Memorandum, where United States and United Kingdom gave us guarantees when we voluntarily gave up our nuclear weapons. Where are these guarantees? How it helped us.
But
So when we're speaking about,
do you think then that this scandal, this corruption scandal, I mean, it does seem to play into the narrative that we've been hearing from President Putin. Do you think it will weaken Ukraine's hand in these vital negotiations, which of course involve the United States, which is the key player in all of this?
it is weakening maybe President Zelensky's hand, but it does not weaken Ukrainians' hand, because the most important is Ukrainian people in Ukraine. We are not Russia. We don't have an emperor. We have people who stopped Russian aggression and who take control over the power, keep control over the power, whoever it will be. And speaking about President Zelensky, other countries are supporting Ukraine, not President Zelensky himself. Never personified things too much. Zelensky will come and go. He will not be president of Ukraine, I think, soon. But Ukrainian people will still be there. Ukraine as a country will be there. Ukrainian army will still be one of the strongest in the world. And the Ukrainian army will be needed by our allies from civilized world. This is
But
the
you
most important.
sorry, you said there, Oleksiy, that you don't think that President Zelensky will be the Ukrainian president soon. Do you think he's going to be forced from power by this corruption scandal?
No, I hope that we will have peace, and after peace we will have elections, and I think Zelensky has no chances to be re-elected.
But you think that he will stay in power until after the war is finished?
Yes, he will. He is legitimate president of Ukraine. We can't have any another president before this. So this war will finish with Zelensky as president. But after this, I think the best option for him would be even not to run.
And is that because you think that he has lost the confidence of the Ukrainian people?
It's because, first of all, in 2019, he promised to Ukrainian people not to run for the second term. Now he's already in power for 6 years, even more. Instead of 5 years, he was elected for. Secondly, because of this scandal. But in general, I think he made what he could do. I think after the war, the country needs another leaders.
Do you think then that he can still, in that position, get a good deal for Ukraine, get a deal that doesn't effectively sell out Ukraine? When we've seen the US president, President Trump, frequently flip-flopping between accepting the narrative of President Putin and then perhaps realizing that there are some important points that the Ukrainians are making. Do you have confidence that President Zelensky can get a proper deal that will bring peace to the country, but without it losing too much of what it's been fighting for?
This is his job. And if the deal he will propose to Ukrainian people will not be accepted by Ukrainian people, this deal will not work. Ukraine is run by Ukrainian people as any other democracy. It's not Russia.
Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian MP, really good to get your insight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.